ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, thescoreesports.com, G2A, NVIDIA, and ESEA.
Welcome back, guys, to North American Pro League here at the Burbank Studios. The first night we're here. It's going to be our home for another week, and then I believe we're switching studios once again. But pretty cool that we get to be in these studios now.
We'll still be in the Burbank Studios.
Yes, we will still be in the Burbank Studios, but we are going to be switching actual studios in this complex.
In the room that's behind us.
Yes, that will be cool.
So.
But either way, we just watched Cloud9. Pretty dominating performance across two maps, go 2-0 over Energy. Coming home a little bit flat from Croatia, but good showing from Cloud9 overall, picking up some steam rolling into the major that's going to be next weekend. And now we are going to watch Winterfox versus compLexity.
This one is a bit of a telling of tales of two teams that have been struggling quite a bit so far in this season. Winterfox coming to this one, I personally was expecting them to be doing a little bit better than this, considering they just sorted out their roster troubles, but that wasn't the case at least early on in the season. However, as of late, they actually were able to trade blows with Team Liquid, Optic, as well as Selfless, taking one map in all three of those sets, but still losing one as well. So they're currently sitting at 5-7, whereas compLexity have really been struggling. Unfortunately, this roster has not been playing off very well so far in the season, as they're down at 3-13.
Yeah, and this is this compLexity team. I mean, they've been just in turmoil ever since. Remember they had some roster upheaval before the regional North American minor that they weren't able to make because of the roster issues. So it's still a very brand new roster. Seeing them work through some things. Fraud was a big pickup that they now have sent back to the bench. They picked up Whitmer in his place just to see how that goes. But I mean, these are all things, guys, in these matches that you can keep track of on the Score Esports statistics, scheduling for Pro League. Keep track of it as the season winds down. Make sure you download that app at the Google Play Store or the Apple iOS. But yeah, moving into this one, you're right. It is a tale of two teams who are really, really struggling in this season so far. So it's going to be. Both of them are kind of, it feels like just no chance of them actually making the top four. I think there's still maybe a statistical possibility for Winterfox, but just the way they play, you don't have a lot of confidence in them being able to make that run.
I mean, in all honesty, I think for compLexity at this point, it's them trying to keep their players outside of relegation now, as these guys are sitting in a very bad spot. And I think they're sitting down at like the bottom three, which would actually put them in contention for it. And yeah, that's actually the case. They're second to last right now in the Pro League, only ahead of Team AGG/Team K Kona. And CLG is just ahead of them, so they're definitely in a bit of a rough spot. And they need to be able to take sets like this who are against those weaker teams in the Pro League at this point in time.
Yeah, that's about the most they can hope for, is getting some confidence boost, trying to find some way to get out of those relegation matches, because it looks like Team AGG is going to be the one automatically relegated. There's still some matches that they can catch up on as well, but compLexity, I mean, tied with CLG and then still able to overtake Splice pretty easily. But I mean, you're right. This is a match they have to win. This is a match, they're expected this. I mean, despite them both being at the bottom of the standings, these are highly competitive matches between these teams down here.
Yeah, and of course the players to watch in this one, at least for me, are going to be the oppers for either team. Whitmer, who actually ever since joining the roster, we haven't really seen him having all that much of an impact as I think some people were expecting. There was a lot of hype behind him getting onto one of those bigger Pro League teams, and we just haven't seen all that much from him as of yet. And of course his opponent on the other side is going to be XP3, who of course, much like pretty much every player on Winterfox so far, had been struggling early on in the season. Within these past couple of matches has actually shown up quite a bit combined with Desi, and they've been quite a large part of the fragging power for this squad. So more than likely we should see XP3 having the advantage, but if Whitmer comes to play today and finally brings some of that strength that he's shown down in the Premier Division and some of the other matches that he's been playing in the past, then maybe he'll be able to contend, and that could give them the advantage over Winterfox, at least on this first map here on Dust2.
Yeah, especially on a map like Dust2, you want to see your op be effective. The big one as well. Roka is an interesting character. I mean, he's a player a lot of people have pegged in North America to be one of the rising stars. A lot of talent on him. He's compLexity, the organization, has come out and said they want to build a team around him. He's kind of their star player that they want to have to be the focal point of everything that this team does in game. And on a map like Dust2 a couple seasons ago, some of you might remember, some of you newer viewers might not realize this, but Roka was just affectionately called the King of Long A. Much like Freiburg had the King of Banana, and this wasn't because of any, tournament performances. It's not like he was going across the sea and across the pond and defeating a bunch of the Europeans. But I mean, there was a season in North America where on Dust2, he would go out long A and get 1 to 2 frags every single round like clockwork. You could rely on it. That subsided a little bit, but he's still just heavy firepower on this compLexity team.
All right, guys. Well, we are going to go immediately into the pistol round now after we see the knife round conclusion. Winterfox starting off here on the CT side. compLexity jumping onto the T side. So we'll see what they're able to work against each other here now with Winterfox sending 3 players out to long, leaving A pretty overexposed at this point, especially if compLexity shifts over towards mid and goes for a cat push. But that's only to start off. They do shift those players a little bit closer to the site, so they are able to hold things in the event. compLexity do decide to push towards this angle, but that may not be the case. They're still keeping the bomb just outside of the tunnels, keeping some pressure over towards long A as well, but most of their players are grouped up in mid, getting ready to maybe put some pressure over there.
Pop flash out mid. Winterfox has to fall back. Desi is completely blind. He does get into the B bomb site, taking heavy damages though, and they continue the push. There's no backup here. There's Lex finally peeking out from behind the platform. Grabs 1 kill. XP3 and Lex get 2 more, and they've essentially shut down this attack. A great recovery on the defense for Winterfox when it seemed like all was about to be lost. Sanks, instead of going for the plant, he's going to try and get 1 more pick to alleviate some pressure. Doesn't want to get the bomb down now, trying to whittle down the defense, but it's not going to work out. XP3 shuts it down. He gets, I believe, 2 kills total on that round.
Finds that frag onto Sanks to be able to close it out. And compLexity not going to be off to the best start here. And it looks like it's going to be a pretty light investment going into the second round, although that could be changing right now. They're going to be buying up, bringing a little bit more utility for those that did invest into the P250s. But Tech 9 armor for Def, and as well Whitmer going to buy Deagle armor. So they're going to buy it a little bit here to try and force themselves through and maybe try to find a plant on this second round.
Yeah, can't go for that 3rd round buy, so trying to do some damage here. They also buy out on Whitmer, so I mean he's not going to be able to have that AV in the 4th round if that's the route they want to take. It's no longer open to him. They're going to slowly work their way up catwalk. Just Whitmer watching for the long push, but they do have smokes and they do have some flashbangs for an execution, so XP3 is going to be the one who has pressure put on him early on.
Sneaking their way over here now, slowly getting ready to go for that execution, but they also need Whitmer in through long A to be able to make some impact here, and Anger is going to have a nice up-close hold. No reason for Whitmer to be able to win that battle. However, if Anger proceeds inside of that smoke and it's close up, that could definitely lean in his favor. Now the cat take begins, though. There's not a whole lot of pressure coming onto the site itself. Most of their players are either over towards long or sitting back a little bit in CT spawn, but Desi moving in. He's going to start this one off quite well for himself. Finds 2 frags immediately on his Sanks and Def. Roka, though, holding a nice angle, is able to respond by shutting down Desi, trying to pick up some more, and he's going to find another pickup on a flow sick, bringing it down to just 3 left alive for the T's, but they've taken so much damage. So XP3 and Lex going to be able to move in. You've just got Whitmer left alive. Lex did not actually see him, but Whitmer can't seem to find the connection at this point. So XP3 just going to wrap around that smoke, shut down Whitmer, and the fuse will come in, giving that second round to Winterfox with some good damage and a plant being done by compLexity this time. So still not a bad round for them being early on in the match.
Yeah, really good damage done for a second round. And actually, look at this. Keep the pressure up. They're going to buy. They have 1 AK-47. They have a Tech 9 on Shinobi. He has all the utilities, the only smoke, the only Molotov they can use. The only other nade is a flashbang on Sanks. But 3 Galils and an AK-47. Winterfox, they're going to be very, very pressured here because compLexity believes they can break the economy now with that damage done in the second half. Winterfox isn't completely bought out, but they are still very low on money, so compLexity going for a quick one here.
A lot of pressure from compLexity inside of the tunnels here too. Roka just making sure they don't get pushed from cow to the mid doors, and Whitmer a little bit longer range this time, making sure that the long push does not go out. But Era's XP3, that's what we want to see. Shuts down Roka when he tries to get aggressive towards mid. It's not been smoked off. There's no pressure on it, so he is able to find that first kill and give Winterfox the advantage once more starting off this round.
And that's the AK-47 down, so they'll have to pick that back up. But once again, they don't have a lot of utility to block off XP3. He's gonna have free reign. You can see he's still taking shots. He's gonna smoke off the mid double doors. That's gonna allow him to cross back over. Eats a couple bullets for his trouble, and those shots as he crosses should give up the indication to compLexity that he is rotated over towards that A side of the map. They still have 3 members in lower B, and it does look like that's where they want the end game to be, into this B bomb site. But Desi's inside this site. Lex is playing at the back of the platform, so it is going to be very tough. They're going to have to just win a duel because they have no smoke to block off Lex. Someone's going to have to take him out. It's going to have to be that AK-47 to challenge him. And Lex taking some bullets, but he's dealing massive damage. He's got a lot of info, and he's just staying alive now. Flashbangs right now. That keeps the terrorists back. 30 seconds left on the clock. Only 2 flashbangs for compLexity to use.
And Whitmer moving in, leading the charge now. Is they're going to try to flip this on, or does Cot hit? The problem, though, is that Flowsick, he's just waiting by the barrels. They do spot him, but he gets some damage out. Not enough to find a kill. XP3 finding a first shot onto Whitmer, but Sanks responds by shutting down Flowsick. Now the final two just trying to push their way up through Cat. XP3 has to hug that corner a little bit, but he keeps himself alive. And it's going to be XP3 and Anger that finish off the final two. Winterfox start off at 3-0 and take much less damage that time around there. A little bit cleaner, being able to build up their economy, and with compLexity just going for the force, they're not going to get that chance as they have to save here.
It helps when XP3 is that mobile with the AWP, and also just not enough nades from compLexity to be able to force him back. So they thought they could, kind of cheat an early buy, 2 buys in a row in the second and third round to reset the economy of Winterfox, but it backfires. Now look at Desi. He's going to take the advantage. He's going to push up. He gets a first shot onto Roka. There's a second onto Whitmer. Nice control. Flashbang comes out, and lower B. Def is not going to let him get away. Shinobi does find the kill. XP3 with the op. Can't connect the crack, but not a lot left for compLexity to do. They are finding a couple kills here and there. That's a little bit successful. Bomb is down, though, and that flank is pretty much going to seal the deal.
So now that Flowsick has full control, and Sanks, there's really no ground for him to move towards here. He's got control of the tunnels, but that's about it. Everybody from Winterfox is holding it, and now even if he tries to re-peek from the lower tunnels, the problem is going to be the smoke that Anger is being worked against at this point is going to be expiring in a moment. So he snuck his way up to the upper tunnels, might try to find his way outside into the courtyard to try and get a better angle. There's a minute left, so absolutely Winterfox players should have no reason to not go hunting for him. But he's going to try to wrap around over here towards T-spawn and maybe find a better angle through suicide or wrapping around to the long doors.
There's not really too much he can do. I mean, it would be great to get damage, although the one thing is that Flowsick has the bomb down. He's at top mid. None of his teammates have really come to bail him out. Anger's just now getting to catwalk, but that's a one-on-one find that Sanks has. 40 seconds left on the clock. Lex is still very far away from top mid. He's just now pushing it upper B tunnels. Sanks, once again, if he speeds this up, he'll be able to find Anger isolated on catwalk. Looking for anyone, but now it looks like he's going to run right into the crossfire. Molotov on catwalk. That's going to distract. Actually, no, he jumps down. Smart play. Gets the headshot onto Lex. Makes this doable, but Anger aggressive off catwalk. And Sanks is not ready for that one, so it almost seemed like it could be possible. But still, again, good damage done. 4 kills for the compLexity side. This initial aggression from Desi is pretty good here. A couple kills, but just can't get away.
This will lead us into another investment round coming out from compLexity, though. Whitmer has the op in hand. It's going to be a glass cannon op this time. Only with a single flashbang sitting behind it, but for the rest of the team, they get their full buys going with AKs, utility, and armor, everything they would possibly need to win a round. So, the exception of that op not having armor behind it, they don't have any more excuses at this point in terms of their economy. But Anger getting so aggressive, I don't think he fully realizes how aggressive this push is. Def and Shinobi finding 2 good pickups to start this one off. They get long control, already down to 3 players, but a little bit overzealous there. Shinobi's going to continue to push up towards long, and Desi finds a free kill there as he's caught with a nade in hand.
Yeah, Desi's got to be careful, though. He's exposed, and he hasn't seen the op of Whitmer. Catches him jumping up. There was a little bit of smoke that was disappearing right when Desi peaked, so he didn't find Whitmer. It's nicely done. compLexity has full long control. They have 1 minute and 20 seconds left with a 4-on-2. Lex has a good angle on catwalk to see if they fall back, and here's the up of XP3. No one's there to cover him, but Def closes it down with a nice shot. Now it's all on Lex. Flashbang over. Got to try and get aggressive here.
And Lex is going to try to jump his way in. Good flash, however, it's not blinded to Roka as he rounded the corner a little bit late. So he's able to find the execution, shuts down Lex, and now compLexity on the board at 4-1.
There it is, and you can see that damage that Sanks did at the end, getting those remaining 2 kills. That's what forces this save now out of Winterfox. So they take enough damage in this 4-round win streak that compLexity now has them on a little bit of a weaker buy. You see a scout onto XP3, just pistols other than that. So Winterfox essentially in a full save here. Good chance for compLexity to close the gap in the scoreline. It is 1-4 again. Fast towards long A. They're out. The pistols not doing enough damage. Roka and Shinobi both open things up.
They found those entries towards long again, so XP3 going to be the next target. He's just shut down completely. The final 2 just have USPs to work with. Not a whole lot. Very quick round here. compLexity, they basically already have it in the bag, especially with the elimination of Desi.
Yeah, and even Lex pushing up mid, he's not going to find anything. So good round from compLexity. They take no damage so far, unless Lex comes up with some miraculous shots. Either way, Winterfox is going to be at 4-2, and they might actually, I think they're going to have to save again. This should be a double save scenario. Lex is only at 1,400, Flowsick at 1,600, Anger at 1,500. They're not going to have very much money at all. There's a nice shot from Lex. Even gets a little bit more damage on the Shinobi, but don't expect too much more from him in this situation.
He's trying to take that last final duel with Shinobi, but he's got the advantage. They know he's here now. No more mystery about it. Still brings him down to 2 HP, so almost closing it out, but ultimately compLexity still have the round in hand.
Yeah, not a lot of money on the Winterfox side still. This should be a double save. Maybe a small investment upgrade, some pistols, maybe some light armor, some utility out of XP3, although he wants to have that op. It's going to be a nade stack, 4 HE grenades. I imagine these would be towards long because you've seen compLexity decide to go fast that route a couple times in a row. This does look like it's where it's going to be at, but initially no damage done from those nades, none at all whatsoever. compLexity just lining up towards this B bomb site. Deagle deals some damage to Whitmer. There's Lex chiming in, can only get one. Whitmer with an opening with that AWP and now streaming out mid. compLexity has every advantage here, although XP3, it's not dead. He didn't take enough damage, so it looked like he was going to run right through the smoke, but gets slowed down at the last second. Third round for compLexity.
Shinobi taking that duel and just going to be able to finish off Anger. Takes a couple more moments, but still closing it out. And compLexity on a bit of a run here now, starting to stack up some really good cash. Looking at the post-buy money now, 6.9k on Whitmer, 7k for Rogue. And most of these guys, with the exception really of Sanks, just floating around 7k, and that's only because Sanks tends to be the first one into the site. So he's going down a lot more and has to rebuy, but they're off to a good start here, and now just one round away from actually tying it against Winterfox.
What does Winterfox do to get back onto it? Long has been susceptible. Again, fast here. Anger's going to get across. Only one member blind, but Def with the entry. It's going to force XP3 back, and they might get re-aggressive. Flowsick is now stuck at this car. Plenty of Molotovs on the compLexity side to force him out. XP3's got to have a nice shot towards Pit. Can't land the initial one. This is a dangerous spot for Flowsick to be in.
Lex still sitting over here outside the mid doors too, waiting out for there to be a push in the event these guys do fall back through those long doors to try and get another angle to push into this site. Not going to be fine to get those. compLexity all stuck together for the time being, just outside of long, getting ready to push themselves forward about it. And Winterfox even starting to rotate off that A-bomb site a little bit. That's going to be a bit of a mistake, but thankfully, because they haven't actually pushed up, they'll be able to put Flowsick back up on top to watch for Cat. Whereas the rest of the team really passive about this. Desi down in CT, completely rotating Lex over into the B-bomb site, and XP3 is going to have to move back in, but he's smoked off at this point. He was going to take a bit of a risk by peeking it.
Yeah, Sanks is going to find one. It's all compLexity as they enter the site. Winterfox tried to do whatever they could. They lost control of long, so they decided to retake control of Catwalk, but from there, there's just nothing they could do when the bull rush came in. All 5 members of compLexity still alive, and Lex, once again on Catwalk, trying to see if he can do any damage whatsoever, but he's just going to lose that opening battle to Roka. 2 kills for Roka on the round, 2 kills for Def with that strong entry onto Anger to give them long control. And now look at this. The wins have been so dominant for compLexity recently. They're building up so much money. They've only lost 2 players in the last 3 rounds. Roka's at 10,000, Def 9,000, and I mean Shinobi and Whitmer are right around that 9,000 mark as well.
And they're going to get an even better chance to build it up some more here because Winterfox, they're completely broken. And there you go, Whitmer shuts down Lex with that nice flick through the mid doors, taking him down and already giving the guys on compLexity an opening advantage. They do have to be a little bit careful because this position from Anger and Flowsick may net them 1 or 2 kills, but it doesn't look like they've spotted them. So Sanks, he's going to catch that. Here's the drop coming in, and he dispatches of both of them. So nicely played by Sanks. Even XP3 as he tries to jump down. Sanks is just going to shut it down completely. compLexity now take the lead with 0 losses in that round.
Yeah, if I'm compLexity now, I'd go away from long A because you've punished it a couple times now, so you know Winterfox has got to put emphasis. They've got to be honest with that defense there. They got to more than likely send 3 members to just hold it or die at that long A, not fall back. So actually, if you can switch things up, if you're compLexity right now, you might be able to catch Winterfox off guard. And actually, they're going to switch things up too. They're just going to give them long. They're going to boost up fast onto Catwalk. Is compLexity going to read this? They should now. They've seen no presence out towards long, so they know instead Winterfox has taken Catwalk. The bomb, all this meanwhile, is in the upper B tunnels. So it'll be interesting. This did look like it would have been some kind of a fake out towards long A to allow them time to get into the B bomb site. But how does compLexity switch it up from here?
And Whitmer trying to find those opening shots there to see if anybody moves over towards the barrels or in the ramp area. Not going to be catching it. He may find a peek in just a moment against XP3, and he is going to find the shot through the boxes. Brings him down to 69 HP. But still, the rest of Winterfox here holding out, getting ready for either a mid-push or just some cat action. Not necessarily ready for there to be a big push coming out through the B tunnels, and just the single player, Whitmer, being positioned on long, is throwing so much of this off from Winterfox at this point. Lex, so much pressure on him. If he doesn't find at least 1 or 2 of these trades, then this round is already over. But there's a slow push. He's able to find that first kill on the Def, but leaves himself in that same position, so Shinobi's able to very quickly trade it. And although Winterfox is now going to try to quickly move in, unfortunately, they've already been locked out of the site.
Yeah, Desi looks like he's waiting for a pop flash to get aggressive, and actually finds Shinobi a little bit of an awkward situation with the recoil. Sanks does take him down. Anger's going to push forward. He falls as well. So retake is very disjointed. XP3 is not even in position, and compLexity is going to win it out again. XP3 does get a parting gift there on a Shinobi. Whitmer's not going to let him go, chiming in from T-Spawn. 6-4. It's been a dominant return from compLexity after going down 0-4.
And now most of these players actually maxed out on money if you take a look at it too. We definitely had Roka sitting at that point. Whitmer sitting pretty close to it, if not at that, I believe, in the last round. And the same thing for Def. So basically 3 players sitting just around, if not at max money. And Winterfox is still struggling to bring the basics, as you can see now. 3 Deagles. This is sort of a Winterfox trademark now, as they love to go for these Deagles. That was sort of something that got picked up ever since Pitt was on the roster, but not the case anymore. But still going to be buying that this time. No armor behind it, though, and with basically 0 utility, not too much to be expected. And Lex sort of stuck in a corner, just taking down Desi, so he doesn't have a lot of support, but they might be given a bit of a reason to believe now that Lex is not in this corner. Shinobi still being safe, though. He checks it anyway, and there you have it. This round's over again.
Yeah, they saw him down there. Molotov, unfortunately, just a little bit off. Didn't even extend to him. Oh, nice shots from Anger. 1 kill onto Shinobi, 1 onto Roka. If he continues that, he might be able to bring him back into this round. He almost finds more. They line up in mid. He had the angle he wanted. XP3 now the next one to be pressured, and he wins out with the P2000. Picks up an AK, gonna drop a smoke, and compLexity, they had a chance to try and beat that and get in before it plumed, but they decide away from it. So on the back of Anger and XP3's fine pistol work, this has been right back into a 2-on-2.
So compLexity actually falling back over towards T-Spawn right now. They're going to try to change this play up majorly over towards the A-bomb site, it would appear, but this could change as well. Still 50 seconds left on the clock. All these kills against Winterfox happened so early on, and the same thing for the trades on to compLexity. So down to a 2v2. Both members of Winterfox have recovered rifles, but no armor sitting behind it, no remaining utility on the CTs. So they're going to have to be a bit cautious, but now moving out towards long. Anger is the player that has to try and hold this, and he's not even going to contest it. He's just sitting back by the box corner. And is going to see the play coming in from compLexity, but ultimately XP3 takes the first brunt of the action. Not too well either. Down to 45 HP without really trading any damage out.
This is really scary. Anger could make a play here. Slowly walking up Def. You got to be careful, and Anger, the spray connects. Just down to Whitmer. He's got the AWP. It's planted for platform. It's not planted for pit. So he's going to be a little bit exposed, and there it is, a vertical stack from XP3 and Anger. They're lined up, one on top of the other, and they're able to take down that kill. So in a 2-on-5 situation, Anger with 2 deagle kills, XP3 with 1 pistol kill. Turn it around.
Nicely done by Winterfox, especially considering how much they just been ripped apart here too. There you go. There's his kills from Anger. Nice connection on that shot. XP3 just a tap away on the Sanks.
There's no reason this should have happened though. compLexity, when you have that much of an advantage, there's no reason for players to be individually overextending like that. Just group up. You have every advantage in the world. Just trade those kills out as you enter a bomb site. But Winterfox take advantage of a small mistake from compLexity, an unlikely situation to be in. There's the op from Whitmer. Misses that shot in the corner though, but once again, Winterfox is blind here, trying to retake long, and they're going to lose it again. Roka finds one. Flowsick uses a whole clip on one member. All the trades go in the way of the terrorists. They have long control. Now it's all on Winterfox's rotations. Are they going to be able to bring this one back? Desi's boosted up onto Catwalk. Lex is now rotating in towards the double doors.
But again, there's a bit of a hesitation, at least when it comes to Lex. He's got to be careful working his way out here, as compLexity could have fallen back, trying to watch out for these flanks themselves. Desi, in the meantime, though, no fear on him. He's already crawled his way over here to the A-bomb site to prevent a push from working its way up on the ramp. Good molly, as he's actually pushed back and now caught with an 8 in hand. Shinobi basically gets the free kill, and even follows it up with a second one to the Lex. So a little bit cautious there for a minute in the 2v3, but handled very nicely with that molly. And then Shinobi with his push follows that up. Puts the 7th round on the board for compLexity and now resets Winterfox.
Yeah, and you can see they might just want to save into this one. XP3 and Anger are the 2 who won that 2-on-5 save round just 2 rounds ago, so they have a massive amount of money. Everyone else is pretty broken. So you're going to see those 2 members drop some pistols over to their teammates, buy up some utility as well. But next round is where they'll make their stand at 5 to 8, potentially, unless they can pull off another miracle. But this time it's going to be very fast at the B-bomb site. Roka leading the way. Hasn't seen anyone just yet. Watching the double doors. Desi's there. He gets a 1D, got a Shinobi. That's all he should get. Pop flash comes over. That slows things down. Desi's got a chance, but he can't land the shots.
Coming in through the window, though. Flowsick going to try to sneak one in. Not going to be the case, though. Def just shutting it down. Only 2 left alive. One's working his way in from T-spawn, now going into the tunnels, but now that he's lost Anger, there's no players pressuring in from middle, and XP3 just wastes no time giving himself away. So in the final duel versus Whitmer, XP3, oh no, Whitmer. That should not be happening. Thankfully, though, his teammates arrived quickly enough to deny from picking up the op and running away with it, but still, they're going to lose one more there. However, with the massive amount of cash compLexity have, that loss is not going to be too big of a deal.
Yeah, no big issue whatsoever. They have really taken control of this match. They have won 8 of the last 9 rounds that have been played. That is incredible stuff from compLexity. Winterfox not able to get back into this matchup. It's been a massive run. All off the back of Sanks, who is 16-7. Once again, they go back towards the fast long play. Hasn't been able to get stopped just yet. Whitmer lands a double, essentially kills XP3. Deals massive damage to Anger, and again, it's just Flowsick all alone. This long play from compLexity has just been phenomenally successful for them.
And again, we're in that same situation where these kills happen so fast and so early on in the round that Winterfox don't know what to do with themselves. They're just going to group up in mid. I don't even think they're going to try to retake at this point. There's no way it's happening in a 2v4. So Desi's working his way around outside of the T courtyard to wrap towards T spawn, and Lex going the other direction, but still going to be joining up with them. These guys are trying to save. There's nothing they can do on the retake.
Yeah, they've been, I mean, Winterfox hasn't even really switched up anything towards that long defense. They're still trying to take this fight at the corner, through the smoke, trying to wrap around the smoke, and it's not working out whatsoever. And the big trouble now is, you know, one of those situations where they could just put an op on it and play him far back and take over Catwalk, but they can't afford it. They can't afford to save too many rounds anymore. So this is looking like it's going to be a good terrorist half from compLexity. Going to get their 9th here. And you can see Desi and Lex just trying to save these guns for the last round of the half. I'm actually surprised that compLexity is being so restrained on the chase. They have 3 members over $10,000. No reason for them not to go for this. They could afford to lose any weapons they want at this stage. Not a huge deal, but it would be nice to take those rifles away from Winterfox.
Not going to do it, however, so Winterfox do get to keep those both in hand. Unfortunately, the other remaining members of this team not going to be able to work with so much. Those that did save rifles, though, are going to toss them over to their teammates. So it's actually a semi-coherent buy now, with only XP3 being downgraded to his pistol. And he's going to be able to buy up quite a bit of utility behind that, and he's dropped the PT-50 by a teammate. However, starting off this round, it doesn't go so well. Roka takes down Desi through the doors, and they've got an auto in play now, too. So an auto, 3 ops, and an AK on a dev. Quite an interesting setup for compLexity.
Yeah, I imagine they're going to switch back over to some of those
They throw the auto away.
AK-47s. Yeah, and they have the 2 ops still. Whitmer and Sanks with those. Whitmer's got to be careful on Catwalk, as Winterfox is stacked on it. Anger is against the wall. Flowsick's there as well, but they're going to fall away very quickly. It is mid-control. Lex is the only one at this B bomb site. The remaining 3 members of Winterfox are all on the A side of this map. So bad read so far. Lex, that Molotov's not going to force him out, not going to do damage. They don't check it, but now his position's give it up. He grabs 2 kill, can't get the 3rd, but that's huge for Lex. They're slowing this down because I think there might be a 2nd member in here, so they've got to respect it. Now they're going to hit at the bomb site. It's a little bit of a mistake. 2 smokes on the double doors. XP3 comes in with the flashbang, and he's got them all blind, but Whitmer eventually does drop him. Now in a 1-on-2, it's a jumping shot.
And now bringing it down to the 1v1, but Anger pushing in, catches Whitmer, finally missing a connection. And they will be able to sneak through with a 6th round before the half ends, but still, allowing compLexity to escape with that many straight is not going to be good. And because of that, compLexity now take the lead and hold it at 9-6 coming out of the first half.
Those were sick kills by Lex. Just get those first 2, and then you can see compLexity very slow to get out of that choke point. So when the rotation does come in, XP3's pop flash just blinds them all and keeps them confined in those close quarters. So the rotation just comes in, and it's able to be very, very effective. But either way, a rough half for Winterfox.
And we will be going into the second one immediately, guys. So, Winterfox down, but not out as of yet. They switch to the T side. They can pick up this pistol, and they don't have any trouble with the anti-egos. Well, they're right back in the action and probably tied up at around 9 rounds. But if compLexity can take it, then they'll be off to a very good lead. And it'll be a huge struggle for Winterfox to get back into this game now.
A lot of utility for the Winterfox side as well. 3 members with 3 smokes, bunch of flashbangs. Sank staying aggressive. He's taking a little bit of damage, but he's got some intel. Now, I mean, Roka's taking this fight on Catwalk. He's got to be careful. He does fall away just a little bit. So mid-control from Winterfox, but it's very tenuous. I mean, compLexity's fighting for this. They're taking these pop shots here and there where they can find them. Roka's still on Catwalk. And with, I mean, 3-man stack in this B bomb site, this is looking like a mid to B split from Winterfox, and it might just get shut down. This is a solid defense for it.
Sanks is up on the rafters there, too. He's going to be able to try and cut this off. They do manage to take down Def, but Sanks follows that up with 2 kills of his own. Desi finds another entry to get themselves into the site, and a nice shot on Sanks just after he jumps over the doors. Shuts him down. 2 left alive, though, from the side of compLexity. They're going to move in for a quick retake. They also still have XP3 sitting outside in the tunnels, but with Anger finding that shot on Roka, that's basically killed it. He's going to trade out for the USP, but Whitmer, not a whole lot of hope at this point. They know exactly where he's moving in from. So they've got 3 players pointed at whichever direction he can try to retake this.
Yeah, trying to do with a Glock, just more bullets, able to pre-fire some corners, but a nice triangle setup from Winterfox inside the B site. That's both pistols won from Winterfox, and that's huge into the second round, going to give them a chance to close the gap on this scoreline. They've got to survive the second round. It looks like they should be okay with that because compLexity not buying up into it. They have some upgraded pistols, but no armor. They're going to buy a couple nades, a smoke on Sanks as well.
For Winterfox, they pick up the pistol right back into this, whereas compLexity gonna have to try and resist things a little bit. They take the gamble, and it's just to the complete wrong site. This team's essentially wrapping around each other at this point, but if they can... Winterfox is not just going directly out into the B bomb sites, though, so if compLexity gets a read on this quickly enough, and if they try to move over, they still might have a chance to stop this, but They're still sticking with 4 players outside of the long doors, just corralling themselves over there. So Winterfox ultimately still have the absolute advantage.
Yeah, this shouldn't be a huge deal for Winterfox. I mean, you could see the UMP from Flosika's probing. He's trying to see if he can find anything, if there's any kind of stack in the middle, any kind of presence here from the defense, and it's not going to happen. Now they're going to get a free B bomb site. Bomb's going to get planted, and compLexity might just look to save these upgraded pistols into the next round, see if they can gamble one more time, and maybe that time it'll be successful. But they haven't moved anywhere across the map, so no real opportunity to set up for some exit kills.
And compLexity is going to be sticking together here now at the end of the round. They have some upgraded pistols, might as well try and save them for that third round, as they're still going to be saving up right there. But dangerously, they have allowed Winterfox, assuming they don't move out to hunt them, of course, they have allowed Winterfox to keep all 5 players alive, and this round might actually end up ending with no one dying. But there's a lot of rifles already on the board for Winterfox. You've already got the Scouts on XP3, the 2 AKs on both Dusty and Anger, and Lex with the Galil. This carries on through the third round as well. That's going to be a lot of free money already stacked up as we get into the first gun round.
Well, at least there's no bonus money being built up by Flosik. There's a silver lining for you. And next round, they don't have to spend anything to potentially deal some damage. So yeah, I mean, I don't even think there's not a point of damage that was dealt in that round. So.
Nope. Everybody just sticking to their side of the map.
Not every day you see that, huh? Interesting. Interesting decisions.
So Winterfox moving through, of course, they're still probably going to be able to claim this one, but compLexity saved quite a bit of cash in this one too, and still be able to keep these pistols in play. So maybe looking at some impact here if they actually go towards areas of the map where each other are located, which was the problem previously, of course. But now Winterfox starting the round on the pace of the same as they did the last time, moving their players into the tunnels. 2 already moving out to the B bomb site, and again, it's open for free. So it looked like Lex, along with Anger, we're going to regroup in mid, but now that they have the B bomb site, well, they're going to plant it, and we might have another one of those rounds. But I think Winterfox might go out hunting for some kills this time.
No reason not to at least send the UMP. I mean, it is good against armor, so no big deal, but that scout does damage to Shinobi. So we break the streak, we do some damage, took a round. Back into the action, though. compLexity still not pushing out of long. So yeah, not going to take any of these guns, not even going to try and deal damage, not even going to try for the economic play. And here comes Flosik with the UMP. He's going to see what he can find, but I mean, not too committed to this chase, so why not?
Shinobi has to die at least. No, he's in pit.
Nobody
there's
has
not
to
gonna
die.
be there's not going to be 2 rounds in a row where nobody dies.
There was what is that? In Mortal Kombat, they had the friendships when you won a duel. You had the friendship thing, or so I mean, it's just like give a gift to your opponent, and I mean here, yeah, a little bit of friendship, a little bit of a ceasefire in these past 2 rounds.
Literally 2 rounds where the CT's like, yeah, you can just go plant the bomb. We'll hang out over here.
2 rounds where no deaths occurred. All right, well. Hopefully that changes here in the 4th round of this second half. Tied up 9-9. And XP3 looking for the jump cross. Didn't take a shot, just seeing what kind of information he could gather. Winterfox very slow to set up in a default. Flosik and Anger really not moving past the long A so far. No one really committing to any early battles. Desi and Lex, meanwhile, have taken control of mid. The defense is still very spread out. Shinobi and CT spawn spotting for mid. They're smoked off, so you can see a couple members of Winterfox boosting up towards Catwalk. But no real pressure put on either team.
Winterfox is sticking to the default hold for the time being, letting that time run down. Very standard thing to do at this time. So now they've grouped up a bit. Looks like they might be trying to push Desi through, and yep, they'll move in. But they've got smokes on both sides as they try to find a way through it here. They'll move inside of CT, actually. But Shinobi's not going to spot this as of yet, so if Desi can get over that box, he'll be able to take him down. Might just leave him here for the time being, too, since the tunnel execution is going to be coming out at any moment. But resisting that is going to be both Def and Sanks. There's that position coming out from Shinobi, actually, as he just shuts down both Desi and Flosik. Nice pickups from him. Def still holding over here behind the car angle, too, but Sanks back on the platform is going to be able to finish this off quite nicely. And compLexity with a great hold managed to maintain the lead just as it was getting tied up.
Yeah, Shinobi just wrecks house. Coming off that box. He doesn't want to play that game. It seemed like he almost knew Desi was there, like he might have spotted him through the smoke, or just kind of saw it at the end and just reacted very nicely. But yeah, no success there for Winterfox. It seemed like they had, I mean, that crisscross smoke they have at mid where it sets up like there's that gap for someone to walk through, but they chose not to do it. So very much isolated the B attack on that mid to be split. So very, very weak from there. Def and Sanks handle it well. This time, 4 members of Winterfox line up outside the A cave. Side of long A. Desi just watching far back for any kind of upper B push for the moment. This does look like it'll be delayed take, delayed control of long for the Winterfox side, as only XP3 is progressing up Catwalk.
Roka going to be the player to stop any long action from coming out towards him, being very mobile, moving all around at this point. And beyond that, just a pretty standard setup from the side of compLexity. Winterfox just trying to run the time down at this point, but the heavy stack outside of long A. They're definitely going to be going for an execute here, and Roka is going to be tested very soon as they're getting ready to try and go for a push. And I think Roka feels it too, as he's going to fall back a little bit. Try to put himself inside of the pit. Flash connecting on him perfectly, but Winterfox a little bit slow to re-execute themselves. Now he throws the flash. Doesn't want to peek as of yet. It's a lot of pressure. He catches the angle onto Anger, but not able to completely take him down. Trying to go for that nade over top. A little bit too far. He finds a kill. And as well, Lex is going to be able to take down Roka. So the guys on Winterfox start off this very well. And unfortunately for Roka, he's not able to pick up anything from that pit position. There we go, though. Shinobi and Sanks both peeking out. Going to be able to find 2 more to trade it back. Anger does take down Sanks, so down to a 2v2. And Shinobi under pressure here on the bomb site. It's going to be pushed over here by Flowsick, who's moving in from cap, but he's got to be careful of Anger. They're trying to wrap around him for the box. Flowsick is going to be the guy that ends up taking him down. And it's just down to Def sitting in CT spawn.
Yeah, gonna get arrested behind this Molotov. The bomb gets tossed across. Anger's extremely low over towards long A. He's being very patient. Def's gonna find this one-on-one. That's a free kill. Now, one-on-one inside the bomb site. Flowsick gonna come out towards single boss, wins the initial duel. Def brought very low and eventually cleans him out. So Winterfox do return the favor. They lose one and they win one. That resets the economy of compLexity. So now, I mean, they're going to be right back on a pistol. So good recovery from Winterfox, not letting this one get away from them.
Should put Winterfox in control of at least this round once more. As compLexity, of course, not really bringing all that much, just trying to round their players at around that 2K margin. So they can just immediately rebuy heading into the next round. But Lex, not going to be spotting all that much there. Pushing its way through the mid doors early on. Most of their players, again, pretty much the same exact setup. They just keep playing the tunnels, watch out for a push. Everybody else sitting outside the long doors. Roka tries to get aggressive, much more direct with his aggression this time, though. Doesn't really end up working out so much, as Flowsick is going to be able to handle him quite nicely, although XP3 was brought down pretty low to 2 HP.
Yeah, even Desi just watching an upper B. He's going to get a crouch punt from 2 positions, so a chance here for compLexity to get away with an AK-47. Nice kill from Shinobi from the side. But still, this is going to be all Winterfox. So they are taking control of this match so far. They're going to be up 11-10. In the next round for compLexity, it might be a tough situation if they want to buy into that. They're going to be right on the edge of being able to force buy. Might be a little bit low in utility on a couple players, so they're going to have that decision to make if they want to go into it. On the CT side is a little bit rough, and the next time they win, I mean, they have to string some together because they've only won 1 round so far on the CT side, and that economic reset is just so tough to handle.
So for the final 2 here, trying to keep themselves held back in that B bomb site. And Winterfox, again, the problem for these guys is, again, their money itself, too, is not necessarily built up quite well as of yet. So looks like they're just going to be trying to save their own guns, not really going to be moving out to try and drop that AK. You've only got Sanks to worry about with the 5.7, so they're just assuming at this point it's not the biggest deal if they end up letting that AK go through, as they're going to be reinvesting in the next round anyway here.
Very interested to see how compLexity decides to go about this one. And still, we haven't seen a pause out of either team. Neither team has just been blown out of the water. But compLexity does buy here. And it's going to be a crucial one. The AK-47 saved by Def. You cannot go understated how important that is. He's got a Molotov smoke, 2 flashbangs. He's got full utility. He's got the only kit as well. Sanks, Shinobi, Roka, they're all stuck on 1 nade, 2 smokes and a flash. So very, very tight buy situation for compLexity. Actually, it looks like Def playing close up towards B tunnels. Thought he would get aggressive into it, but they're going to set up a crossfire. So Winterfox, once again, just slow playing this initially, spreading out into a default, watching for any kind of aggression. They're not going to see it, but compLexity very committed with 2 members out towards long A. They want to be able to hold control of this. And Whitmer's eating a little bit of damage to the spam, but he gives it right back on a Flowsick.
Lex going to be jumping up onto that Xbox now, regrouping with the rest of his team as they push their way over here to the count push. However, compLexity ready to resist this to a certain degree. They will have to be cautious of the positioning over here towards long, as they're actually a bit overexposed. As I correct myself now, Shinobi's sitting down here inside of CT spawn, but they don't really have a whole lot of pressure to throw back at Cat right now. There's nobody over by the car angle. There's nobody either hiding on a goose or just sitting on the ramp to try and stop this push from happening. So they're assuming it's a mid to B right now, and that's definitely not the case.
Yeah, it's a very, very heavy retake tactic to have on the same bomb site, and it's going to be tough because they don't have the utility to really retake it. They have a Molotov. There's a good kill from Shinobi. Thins him out initially, but he does get traded off by Lex. Meanwhile, Roka's made his way back. He finds 2 kills in the site. Whitmer out towards long is going to hold things off, but it's Roka, the hero, rotates back from long A to get 2 kills. He does eventually get dropped by XP3. It is a 1-on-3 situation, so he's got to try and find 1 or 2 more, but only 30 seconds left, so he's going to get this bomb planted for his team at least and see what he can do from here. He's going to have them isolated in 1-on-1s. It's 1 CT spawn, 1 catwalk, and 1 long A.
Trying to find that shot over there on towards Def, but not going to be able to pick it up. So works as a distraction anyway, because even if he had taken down Def, Sanks was already peeking from Cat, so that would have been an absolutely incredible play had he managed to take down both of those. So they'll take him down. He does manage to escape with the plant, which is good, so giving them a bit of a bonus money, but compLexity still trading these rounds back and forth, and now back for the time being into the favor of compLexity as they tie things up at 11 rounds.
The good thing is with 3 members surviving, Whitmer, Def can both drop a gun and still able to have utility behind it. So this should be a really solid buy out of compLexity moving forward, and they have to string them together. They finally have the economy of Winterfox in a situation where they can force them onto pistols into the next round. This late in the match, that's going to start having a huge impact. You can see the buy out of compLexity, much healthier than the previous round. Up on Whitmer, XP3 misses his initial shot through the double doors. And once again, compLexity, 2 members out towards long. Sanks playing in between the bomb sites and 2 members inside B. So very default from both of these teams to open things out.
Yep, it's that same exact setup we've already seen 3 or 4 rounds now from Winterfox. Just holding back, watching out for any extra aggression. Mainly keeping their eyes on the long doors. There's going to be Flowsick, but Shinobi's here to help out Roka this time. And they're going to go very directly forward on towards middle after the timer gets low. Now stacking up for that Cat hit. It looks like that's probably going to be the game plan once again. It worked out okay last time. It's just about correcting it now and finding the better way to execute it. Actually get into that bomb site. Pretty direct with already angered Lex and XP3 moving into it.
Big question is Whitmer is pushing in upper B tunnels with this AWP. He's got a new angle out towards stairs, and he does find that kill onto Desi. That's good stuff. Gets an opening pick, has a lot of information as well. Now, compLexity hasn't exactly reacted to it. Def still playing dedicated inside the B bomb site, respecting any kind of mid to B play. That's exactly what it's going to be. Lex dropping off catwalk, wrapping through CT spawn. And Def is now exposed. He's out of the bomb site, so he's going to be trapped here at these boxes. Flowsick looks like he's going to check this. Def hears the footsteps. Flowsick doesn't clear the corner. He does fall. Def holding him off as long as he possibly can. Now it's all on Whitmer. Close to upper B. He's got to push forward. He does get the dink, but not the kill. There's Lex with 2 incredible kills. Quickly and surprisingly down into a 1-on-2. Roka's got a big job to do here.
Roka going to go for this nade, trying to bounce it across, and oh, it notches off something there in window. So it would have had a good angle if it was a flat wall, but not going to be the case here. So Lex stays alive, and Roka already using a flashback as well. He's got left as a mall. He's tossing it down to the safe corner. No one's hiding there, and it's just going to be a raw retake. That does not go very well at all. Lex, huge round from him, finding the 4K. Anger helping out there with at least 1 pickup, but still, now Winterfox retake the lead, and again, compLexity have been reset back down to ground 0.
Yeah, these kills by Lex is good stuff. 2 kills here. I mean, Whitmer has nothing left to do but to get aggressive there. And Lex, and they're just lined up for him. And for whatever reason, they couldn't get the kills. He gets a 4 kill in the round. Huge impact there. And story of compLexity's CT half so far. Can't string together 2 rounds. So again, back onto the pistols, and Whitmer looks like he's had enough of it. Gonna push up catwalk. He's gonna find a lot out towards long A. It's all about the timing on this one. He hears the footsteps. All 5 members of Winterfox are here.
Shinobi is going to be pressured initially. That smoke that was thrown up on the tees to cover the cross is not actually perfect at this point. So he might be able to sneak through at least 1 kill there, but Roka not going to have very hot luck. Whitmer as well goes down, and already Winterfox basically in full control of the situation. They re-smoke the cross there, so they do have it completely covered. They are going to try to go for that bit of a cheeky boost, and it's sort of working. Shinobi hit his shot on the Flowsick, but doesn't follow up very well. And now it's been called up, so Flowsick is going to be able to just jump right out there. Takes down Sangs. Def finally picking up something in this round for the guys on compLexity, but when he peeks back out there, they know the op presence is there. XP3 were missing the first connection, but correcting it himself to be able to take down Def. End the round. Now Winterfox have a solid lead going again.
Yeah, compLexity have to buy into this, but they've got 2 members very low on money. I mean, again, another situation where just tough. They have to make these decisions. It's too late for them to save. 11-13. Whitmer's going to have that AWP shotgun on Sanks, and that's just so he can add some utility to this buy. He's actually going to take that shotgun over towards the B bomb site.
XP3, very quick peek outside of the B tunnels once again. Sanks going to peek it just at the wrong time to where he could have been able to find it, but XP3 also watching out for that angle, so he's going to have to be a little bit cautious with this one. Gets smoked off. He's not going to be able to find anything for a little bit. Tries to go for the timing shot, but not going to find it. Now the rest of the team, for now, is just sort of hanging out in the tunnels, but it looks like they're going to relocate down towards middle once more to maybe try and execute this as a mid to B split.
It's going to be all on Whitmer to find an impact with this AWP. The CT side compLexity, they're fast running out of utility to use. Winterfox haven't really given up their game plan, their end game, quite yet. Still control of middle, still control of upper B tunnels. Flowsick watching for any kind of a flank out towards long. Now Desi's going to challenge on catwalk. Whitmer's got to find that, and he does. Gets the opening pick, gives them an advantage.
So now the final 2 in mid. They need to start moving forward here too because they've lost players. So compLexity might start to get a little bit curious as to where the hit's actually going to come from. Sanks Jiggling just around the boxes there, and Lex is going to be the first player to push through, but they're jumbled up, and Sanks with that shot. There you go. Lex follows it up with a second one at XP3, a big stack of cash for Sanks, trading it out to the rifle, and now Def's able to peek towards mid. They read this play like a book. Anger finally finding a trade, but he's alone at a 1v4. Shinobi's got the flanked angle. Anger realizes, though, Shinobi doesn't make the first connection, but there we go. He's going to pick him off just as he tries to escape inside of the lower tunnels. compLexity still alive in this match. 1 round behind Winterfox.
Just barely still alive into this match. Now they've got to do what they haven't been able to do. They need to get a second round here. They do have a double op setup, essentially. They salvage one of them. Whitmer still has his. So Sanks is going to be the secondary op there. And now they have good utility behind it as well. 4 kits. They have a lot of smokes, a lot of Molotovs to use on the CT side. And now you can see this buyout of Winterfox. Their own money is dwindling. XP3's got no nades. Lex has a deagle, so going to be a little bit tough for them. But still, spread out into a default all across the map. Not really changing things up through this whole thing. They're just kind of spread out watching for any kind of aggression, and they're completely comfortable with working out of this.
And compLexity with a good hold over here towards long. Winterfox starting to avoid it a little bit more now. Still shifting back to that normal play of holding over towards middle. Very proactive aggression that could be tossed in from the CTs. As with Sanks and Daff are actually holding back. None of that happening, but Winterfox just playing it safe for the time being. They themselves need to be a bit cautious because they're also on the edge of their own economy. Highest player having 1,500 right now for Flowsick, and everybody else is way below that. So if they drop this one, they're probably in the same boat as compLexity, and they could just steal the lead away just as easily.
Looks like Winterfox wants to slowly work their way out mid. Smoke is up. Flex is going to be in upper B tunnels with the bomb. One in window to deal with. He's not going to peek. That's Def. Sanks in the back of the platform with an AWP. No flashbang for Def. He hears the footsteps. They know Anger's getting close. There it is over the B tunnels. Def back for the first kill, but Desi chimes in. Sanks somehow spins in the fire, gets one more. Down to a 3-on-3. It's a post-plant retake situation for compLexity.
They're in the site. The plant's going to go down. The 3 remaining members of compLexity so far off the mark, too. They're being even cautious about coming outside of CT because they're not going to watch out to see if anybody's going to try to peek out and find an early kill. But yeah, they're going to call this out. They're saving, so compLexity moving away. They need to keep the rifles in check for this next round. So Winterfox is going to be able to escape with this one for free. And now they'll be only 2 rounds away from closing out the map.
They're just so scared of getting a reset at this point that they don't want to make a play for it. They'd rather have these weapons into the next round. That's a tough call to make. Now, Whitmer will be able to drop an M4 over, so it should still be an okay buy for the compLexity side of things. But very curious. You don't often see they had full bomb timer to go for that retake, and it just makes me. It's just one of those things that makes you feel like they're not playing to win right now. They're just like they made that decision because they didn't want to lose. It's a little bit scary, but nice hold from Def initially. Just Sanks couldn't do a whole lot. Molotov off. He has 2 angles to pay attention to. He can only get 1.
So back down now, compLexity onto another situation where it's actually still a pretty good buy from these guys. However, still, now they've given that lead back to Winterfox, and it's only a 2-round lead, granted, but comparatively to where we have been for most of this half so far, a 2-round lead is still a pretty big lead, especially if it continues forward and they claim this round without allowing compLexity to save all that much. Because they have, though, compLexity's still in a very secure position, at least with their buys. Only Sanks not able to bring utility to the table this time. Whitmer still gets the op with the full buy and everything else behind it. So it falls to Winterfox to find the correct execution. And they're going back to an old strat, which we haven't seen in a couple of rounds now, but still it's working out quite well for them. The 3-stack outside of long doors, and still keeping 2 players on either of the other angles just to make sure they don't get pushed by the CTs.
Yeah, Whitmer's got a pretty clever angle on Catwalk, and he's not going to react in time. It seemed like he had it, but XP3 takes him down. Crouch peeks the angle. Finds an opening kill for Winterfox, and this is not the round you want to lose a player early in. So now they have advantage up at this A bomb site. You can see the split now is going to work out so much better. 3 members are going to come out long. Roka and Shinobi have got to dedicate themselves, get aggressive towards one of these sides. There's an opening kill onto Desi. XP3 now with the AWP, trying to play with the edge of the smoke. Looks like he's going to be able to get one. He does. He flicks over to Shinobi, just down to Roka inside the bomb site. And there's too much for him to handle. It's maybe it for compLexity. They're running out of money now in this half, and Def and Sanks 2-on-4 situation, and there's no better time to save than just now. If they're going to do it last round, you might as well do it in this situation as well.
So finding the op on the floor, they're going to be able to retreat with that at the very least, but the team is now basically out of money, and because of all these resets and whatnot, they don't really have a big losing bonus to work with. So Roka should be able to force up a little bit because he's sitting on 2,400, but for some of these other guys like Whitmer and Shinobi that have gone down, there's no way they're going to be able to bring rifles to the table. They're still going to be sitting at such a lax amount unless they just force it up completely. So Winterfox should have nothing to worry about heading into what could possibly be this final round now. They're going to have the absolute advantage.
Yeah, I mean, there is going to be an op and play for compLexity, but that's about all they really have to write home about. Roka I mean, he could have something. He's going to be at 3,800. No, he'll be at 4,300. So he'll have something to play with. He can at least get, you know, an M4 with armor and everything, and he might even go light armor just to have the utility. But compLexity, some curious decisions on their saving situations here late on in this half, and that just seemed like Whitmer had plenty of time to react almost. He just couldn't land it. So nice round from XP3 to get the opening kill, and that kill right there was huge.
All right, so 12-15. Winterfox having a pretty big advantage this time now, with only 2 M4s coming onto the board for compLexity, and the op in the hands of Whitmer still. Shinobi's a downgrade to a 5-7 for Senks, gonna go for the shotgun, but Shinobi peeking at probably the worst possible time, just as Dusty was rounding out towards long there, was gonna get shut down by him. Winterfox already off to a hot start, and they're gonna follow this up with quick execution onto the A-bomb site through Cat. They've already got it, and compLexity tried to stack B, so this is basically it here. They get in, they're gonna get the site for free, and unless compLexity can pull up a monster retake, this is GG.
Yeah, not even an execution, just a rush essentially to this A bomb site, all down to Whitmer. Does do some damage to Desi. It does find the kill, but he's got to go for it here in a 1-on-4 situation. Anger's going to clean it out. That's going to be it. It's going to be the victory for Winterfox.
And quite dominantly coming into that second half, of course. A nice bounce back from compLexity there to bring it up to 9-6 after the first half. They won like 8 or 9 rounds in a row to close it out there, but Winterfox take full control of things to start off the second half.
I did not like that call to save in the 3-on-3. No reason not to go for that. You got the extended bomb timer. They had utility as well to go for that. So a little bit curious that decision. I didn't like it too much, but either way, I mean, back and forth for a lot of that. And Winterfox just at the end there grabs control. Second half, I mean, compLexity in the first half, their terror side just bullying themselves out long A at all times, at free to will. They got it every time they went there, and then the second half they just couldn't string rounds together. Constantly in a flux of save by, and just, I mean, you can't win matches that way. So a little bit tough for them to deal with.
Yeah, we can see some of the replays now. Winterfox too, early on in this first half, actually taking really good control and just getting super aggressive, but then it starts to bounce back quite nicely, and you can see these guys on compLexity constantly winning the duels that they need to open this up. Sanks is going crazy in this one round. This was a save round, of course, from Winterfox, but still gets the read on it. Winterfox trying to bounce back a little bit, but ultimately compLexity holding full control of things coming off of that first half.
Yeah, so nice win for Winterfox in the end. This was sick by Lex. I liked that hold. That was really strong stuff, and that just allowed them to be bottlenecked later on when the retake came in. So they do win 16-12. You've mentioned they have had some pretty good wins recently, some grabbing of games off Liquid here and there. And speaking of that, actually, that map they did win against Liquid was Overpass, which is going to be the next map in this doubleheader. And
with, of course, the guys on compLexity having the issues that they've had recently, just with their general team cohesion, Overpass is not the friendliest map to bounce on. So
nope. That'll be interesting to see. That's going to be very tough for compLexity to bounce back on. But we'll see if they can do it. They're going to take a break. We're going to take one as well. And when we get back, we will see that second map on Overpass between compLexity and Winterfox.